Our math aid, we've got less than 5-2 linear pairs and vertical angles. Okay, so linear pairs. Linear pairs are two adjacent meaning that they share a side in the vertex, supplementary angles. So we already talked about supplementary angles. Supplementary angles were angles that their sum adds up to 180 degrees. So linear pairs are a special type of supplementary angles. It's when the supplementary angles are adjacent to each other. So here I've got a straight line. Now I know these are going to equal 180 degrees because straight lines have 180 degrees in them. So straight line, straight angle is 180 degrees. So these two angles right here, by the angle addition postulate, would have to add up to this whole angle here. So these would be considered linear pairs. Angle PQS, that angle here, and angle SQR, this angle there. Those two angles have to equal 180 degrees because they're adjacent supplementary angles. So together, these two angles make a straight line. So since we can now say measurement of angle PQS plus the measurement of angle SQR, those two angles are linear pairs, therefore their sum is 180 degrees. They're supplementary to each other. So linear pairs will always make a straight line with them. Vertical angles. Vertical angles are when we have two lines crossing each other or intersecting each other. And on this one, the non-adjacent angles are vertical angles. So angle 1, the adjacent angle is 2, or the adjacent angle is 4. So the non-adjacent angle to angle 1 is 3. So angle 1 and angle 3, those would be considered vertical angles. So we got two lines crossing. Angle 1 and angle 3 are non-adjacent. So those are vertical angles. We also have a second pair of vertical angles, angle 2 and angle 4. They are also non-adjacent angles formed when these two lines intersected each other. Now, vertical angles, instead of being supplementary like linear pairs, vertical angles are always congruent to each other, meaning they have the same measurement. So since angle 1 is congruent to angle 3, meaning they have the same measurement, we can now say that the measurement of angle 1 equals the measurement of angle 3. So these two vertical angles are congruent to each other, therefore their measurements are equal. Angle 2 and 4 are our other pair of vertical angles, so we can say that angle 2 is congruent to angle 4. Therefore, the measurement of angle 2 is equal to the measurement of angle 4. Practice problems. Find the measures of the missing angles. So here we've got, this angle is 123. It's two lines crossing. So the first thing that I can say is because of vertical angles, that these two angles have to be congruent to each other. Because these are vertical angles, so they're congruent. So the measurement of angle 3 is going to be 123. Vertical angles. Now over here, this angle and this angle, together those two angles make a straight line. Therefore, those two are linear pairs. So these were vertical, but these are linear pairs because they're adjacent supplementary angles. So we can say that the measurement of angle 2 plus 123 equals 180. So I'll subtract 123 from both sides. We get the measurement of angle 2 is 57 degrees. So now I know that the measurement of angle 2 is 57. So this angle was 123. This angle from linear pairs is 57. Now we can say that angle 1 and angle 2 are exactly the same. Those two angles are vertical angles. So if angle 2 is 57, angle 1 is also 57. So the measurement of angle 1 equals 57 degrees. All right, next one. Find the measurement of angle ABC if angle CBD is 62. All right, so they're saying that CBD, that angle right there, is 62 degrees. They want us to find ABC. ABC is this angle. Well, those two angles are linear pairs. They make a straight line. So I know that the measurement of angle ABC plus the measurement of angle CBD is 180 degrees because they're linear pairs, so they have to add up to 180 supplementary angles. So instead of CBD, I can replace that with 62. So I'm going to say the measurement of angle ABC plus 62 equals 180. Now I can subtract 62 from both sides. I get the measurement of angle ABC is equal to 118. So there's my answer. The measurement of ABC was 118 because these two are linear pairs, making them supplementary. Whew. Next one. So that CDE is 2x minus 10. All right, CDE, this is this one, 2x minus 10. You say that GDF is x plus 30. GDF, x plus 30. And then EDF is y plus 35. EDF, y plus 35. All right. To solve this one, we don't want to start with these two. They are linear pairs. They're supplementary, but this one has a variable of x. This one has a variable y. It's not going to be very easy to solve that because we've got two different variables. So I would start with these two. And what kind of angles are they? They're vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent, meaning this equals this. So that's my first equation I'm going to write. 2x minus 10 is equal to x plus 30. All right, now we just have to solve it. I'll subtract or balance by subtracting x from both sides. I get x minus 10 is equal to 30. Then I'll add 10 to both sides. X equals 40. All right, I got my first answer. X is 40. So if x is 40, here's what I now know. This one would be 40 plus 30, 70 degrees. This one would be 2 times 70, 2 times 40, so that's 80, minus 10, 70 degrees. Whew. All right, so now I can work on the rest of this. But here's what I know, that these two angles here, those two are linear pairs. They should be supplementary. So this angle should be 110. That means this angle over here should be 110 because these are vertical angles or linear pairs going this way. Okay, they want us to find the measurement of CDE. CDE, and we found it. It was 70 degrees. CDG, that's this one. We found that. That was 110 degrees. Last thing we need to do is find y. And here I can see that y plus 35 is the same thing as 110. So I'm just going to write y plus 35 equals 110. Subtract 35 from both sides. And we get y is equal to 75? 75. Done. Last one. Here we want to solve for the missing angles. I see this is 38. And this has a box there. That means that one is 90. Okay. Well, what do we got? We do have vertical angles here. This line here and this line here are crossing. So this is 38. This has to be 38 by vertical angles. That means these two are linear pairs. So if I do 180 minus 38, it's 142. So that means these two or these two should be linear pairs. So this is 142. Almost there. Now I know that this angle, and this angle together, those three angles, make a straight line. So I could do 38 plus this angle plus 90 equals 180. Or I could do, let's see, what else? I could do, if this angle here and this angle here, those two angles would be considered, the angles I'm talking about is this angle and this angle. Those would be vertical angles. So I know that these two angles together have to add up to 142 degrees. So I can say this is 52 degrees. There's a lot of different ways we could do it. We could do 90 plus this plus 38 equals 180. I can look at the vertical angles here and say that this angle is 142, therefore these two angles together have to be 142. So I can subtract 90 and 142 and get 52 there. There's all of our angles. That is done. All right, Math Harden. See you next time. Bye-bye.